We would like to thank our generous underwriters, Shape Your Future, a program of the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust. Today we're here at the First American Museum, and joining me is Chef Loretta Oden. Chef, thank you so much for inviting us out into your kitchen garden, essentially, but it's full of some really native yummies, right? Tell us a little bit about the plants we have here.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we have a lot of herbs, edible flowers. Most everything that's out here is edible, so that we can use it in the kitchen, on the plates, and all of that. A lot of things that have to do with our traditional foodways, like medicinal teas and to make tinctures and all of that. Just an overall look at, you know, what we consumed as Native peoples in the past, and bringing that forward into the future.
And you guys as a museum are representing all of the nations, right? Or a lot of them anyway?
Well, a lot of them. We're representing the 39 nations that now call Oklahoma home, that are literally from all over North America. So we have people from, you know, all regions who came here with different foodways, you know, different plants and animals in their particular regions. And we just kind of all got plopped down in old Indian territory. So we're just kind of making the best of that. And this museum is really so exciting. It's really an opportunity for us to tell the story in our own words.
Right, and of course, you know, food is always a big part of culture. So there's only so many plants that can grow in our climate of Oklahoma, but you guys are doing a fabulous job here. And a lot of the native plants actually have a wide range, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Especially what people consider weeds. I'm the crazy old lady in the neighborhood that when I smell Roundup in the air, I go running up and down the street and say, don't spray that, that's food.
So tell us a few of the plants that you have here and how they're utilized.
Oh, we're using a lot of wild plants. We're using a lot of plants that just kind of grow out in the yard. This is the goldenrod.
Right.
People think of as ragweed.
Right.
Makes you sneeze. This is almost a miracle medicine. You know, tinctures, teas, poultices for wounds and all of that. Just great, great stuff. Sage. You know, we not only eat it, but we pray with it. We have several varieties of sage here. We have amaranth, you know, the beautiful amaranth that's just now getting a good start.
Right.
But, you know, I use a lot of amaranth and quinoa in the kitchen. Those are just kind of superfoods that people are really just now learning about. So most everything here is edible. The marigolds even. Everyone grows marigolds in their garden, thinking, well, it draws the aphids away from the other plants, but it's also edible. I pull the blossoms off and sprinkle it on my dishes for desserts and other dishes.
So I know you guys have this, and you obviously are using part of this in the kitchen. Can you give us a hint of what we might find on the menu?
Oh my goodness, you know, we are traditionally pretty much a plant-based society. So of course the corn, beans, and squash, every kind of bean imaginable, chili peppers, tomatoes. People are really not aware of how many foods are indigenous to the Americas. You know, these foods left our shores and went around the world and came back as Irish potatoes and Swiss chocolate and all of that. But yeah, we're using this in the restaurant as ingredients, as garnish with the edible flowers.
So tell us a little bit about how this garden is utilized by the museum.
So we're using it as a teaching garden for the children in fam camp. My target audience, because we've got to get these kiddos young.
Before they think these are weeds,
Yeah,
right?
before they think they're weeds. And to get them out here, they help us plant, they make seed balls, and then when they grow something, they're really intrigued to taste it. So we've had them eating stuff that they would never have dreamt of eating before. But as you go through the garden, this is also open to the public all of the time. Any visitor to the museum has access to this garden. And as they go through the garden, we have plant identifiers, and we also have QR codes on these little stakes that you can access to get some recipes from Chef Loretta
Okay.
on how to use some of these beautiful plants.
Okay, and I know you've been a chef for a long time and have been working with indigenous plants for a long time as well.
Yes.
So if somebody's looking for a resource, I think you might have a book you could suggest to us.
I do have a book. Thank you for mentioning that. It dropped in October, my first after 35 years of doing this, but it's called Corn Dance, Inspired First American Cuisine. So it has a little bit of my story, but it has some it's geared towards the home cook, so it's not real complicated, and some great recipes utilizing our indigenous foodstuffs.
Well, this is great information, and we're so happy that there is this museum here as a resource and that there are people working to preserve these native traditions. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Today, Julie Bisbee, Executive Director of TSET, is joining us once again in one of the beautiful gardens that Shape Your Future has helped establish here in Oklahoma. Let's talk a little bit about TSET and Shape Your Future.
Yeah, so TSET is a state agency that makes grants to improve health, and one of the things that we focus on is helping to increase access to fresh fruits and vegetables, and also helping people stay active. So gardening really is in line with a lot of our goals.
Absolutely, and here we're learning about how indigenous food is so reliant on some of these native plants and how that helps to better health.
Absolutely. You see a lot of fresh things that could be grown on a patio. That's why I think this garden is so great, because it's a small area, it's in an urban setting, but also it is producing vegetables that can be used in the restaurant. And this also shows our viewers, this is something you can do if you just have a patio.
Right, and let's talk about the age range that they're able to incorporate into this garden a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know they have children that are part of the camps here that come and help, and this is something that all ages can do, and there's lots of ways that you can do it with containers, and also learning about what are healthy foods, where does our food come from.
Well, they have their QR codes out here if you're looking for specific resources about this garden, but let's talk about some of the resources Shape Your Future has as well.
Sure, on shapeyourfutureok.com we have lots of things to do. Planting schedules, how to start your own gardens, recipes for how to use those fresh fruits and vegetables. So it's really about making it easy. We know, sometimes in your hectic life it's hard to work those fruits and vegetables in, but I am a big believer that getting in the garden really does help us de-stress and also helps us improve our health.
Well, not only that, but I've been to a grocery store where I see some of these vegetables. I'm like, what do I do with this, right?
Right. So lots of recipes, lots of easy things you can do. You can have your kiddos help you, or just, you don't want to cook tonight. Here are some no-cook options.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Great. Thank you.
For more information about Shape Your Future, visit their website. We would like to thank our generous underwriters, Shape Your Future, a program of the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.